Hey guys, what's up? It's Stricken06 of Stricken06.com, and today we're going to be doing a review on Milwaukee's right angle impact, specifically model number 2668-20. The 20 means it came without a battery. So right off the bat, you can tell it is a right angle impact versus the more traditional style impacts. This has a 3/8 anvil with a friction ring, as you see right there. And it has two settings. Setting 1 is rated at 30 foot-pounds of torque. Setting 2 is rated at 60 foot-pounds of torque. It has a LED on the top that will go out even after you release the trigger, meaning it will stay on, after you release the trigger. And the head here can rotate via the set screw, so you can actually turn it around the opposite way and use it to where it's going to be working in this direction. I have no need for that, so I never changed it. But all in all, the tool is actually pretty cool. It works with the XC 4.0 Brethren battery packs. So if there's any discrepancy or somebody wanted to know which battery packs it works with, they pretty much work with all the battery packs. I know some people state that some tools don't work with other battery packs, but I'm pretty sure Milwaukee across the board, if you got any kind of these new red lithium batteries, all the tools will be working with all the battery packs. So after working with this tool for a few months, I clean my tools, that's why it looks this way, but otherwise you could actually tell by the tool it's been beat up and dropped, and I've used it quite a bit. So after working with this tool for a few months, I gotta say that it's got its place in the toolbox, but it certainly wouldn't be the first impact I would ever buy. I'd probably go this route first, and we'll get into that in another video. Just search my channel. But it definitely has a place. It's got a cool angle, the 90 degrees, so it can get into, say, brake work. But the only problem is, even on power setting number 2, it's pretty weak. It's only 60 foot-pounds of torque according to the specs, but I have to say it honestly puts out about 40 to 50 on a good day. And it has some problems even extracting some caliper slider bolts, which is kind of sad because not really in there tightly to begin with. So, if you don't mind having this thing rattle on a bolt for a little while before it removes it, then I guess this is a pretty cool tool to pick up. I expected a little bit better performance out of this, considering Ingersoll Rand has a 90-degree impact, that it's got over 100 foot-pounds of torque. It rivals these big guys here, which is pretty impressive. But I have a Milwaukee tool kit, meaning I have all the batteries and chargers, so I'm pretty much locked in with Milwaukee. But nonetheless, it is a cool tool. And the trigger, I don't know if you know how it works, but basically this is not going to change direction regardless where you grip it, forward or back. The directional is actually changed by this button here. You can see it's on either side. So that is a strange feature, because some tools will feature, for example, this is to tighten a bolt and this is to loosen a bolt. But I guess Milwaukee wanted to go with the way that if your hand slips, they don't want you to tighten it or loosen it, or I don't know. But it's kind of convenient because sometimes you want to grip, closer to the head of the tool and spin one way, and then sometimes you want to grip further back and spin it the same way. But this is certainly not a ratchet. If you think that you're going to be able to ratchet with it, you won't. You can see here that this is almost free spinning. It won't do anything. So if you think you're going to be able to tighten something up just by moving the tool itself, no, it's not going to work. They do sell a ratchet style where the head locks at a certain tooth point, and then you can use the tool itself as a ratchet, but not in this case. It's got a belt clip here that you can attach. I don't typically use those, so I don't need it. All in all, I'd give this tool probably a 6 out of 10. It's got uses, it's got some power, but like I said, this wouldn't be the first tool I would buy if I was looking at impact. This is like a complementary tool. It's good for body panels. Like if you ever remove the fender, those bolts are on like 15-20 foot-pounds of torque. If you ever remove the headlight, those bolts securing plastic are only on about 20-30 foot-pounds of torque. Bumpers, really strange areas that you don't need a lot of power in. I certainly wouldn't use this tool in a spot that needs some power. There's no reason for me to show you how it works. I think we've all seen how a right angle impact works, but I can only explain to you what I've gone through with this tool, and I can tell you that it's got its uses. I just changed a belt on a snowblower. I had to take the side cover off. Those bolts were kind of rusted. You can imagine salt and snow don't really mix well for nuts and bolts. It removed it with that, like a breeze, you know, like nothing was there. But when you start moving into automotive things, you know, it's got 20, 30, 50,000 miles on a bolt and it's really rusted, this thing starts to have some trouble. It really starts to rattle on it, and you might need to grab a ratchet anyway and then go back to this tool if it's a long bolt. But I'll be honest with you, I have found myself grabbing a ratchet along with this tool because sometimes this thing just doesn't have enough power to get to it. But anyway, guys, I have a couple more impacts from Milwaukee to review. Stay tuned. Check my channel out if you're watching this in the future. I have a couple more of these style impacts to review, and I have a lot of good things to say about these. These are reviews going to be geared towards mechanics or home DIYers, so certainly stay tuned and search my channel, like I said, if you're watching this in the future. Take care, guys.